Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 19th hole. We are live on In Between Media, sports, lifestyle, everything in between. You should like this video. You should subscribe to the whole damn channel and make sure you jingle that bell for notifications. Justin Thomas, JT himself, big winner last week. Conor Coughlin, stay hot, my friend. That's two back-to-back outright winners on Conor's top pick. We have reached kind of the deadest week of all dead weeks on the PGA Tour. We're 2 weeks removed from the best Masters ever. We're a week removed from Justin Thomas breaking his 3-year losing drought. And we're going to go to the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. It'll be a quick one because the Zurich Classic is a two-man team event that not many people care about because it's almost impossible to pick the winners. We're going to try anyway right after this. What's up, Conor? That's 2 weeks in a row, you dog. Dog. How we feeling in the bankroll? You feeling a little heavy in the pants this week?
Dude, I was wondering if it was ever going to happen. I was not on fire, and boy, am I cooking now.
Yeah, let him cook. Yeah, I think that makes 7 out of the last 8 weeks somebody on this show has picked the outright winner. That's pretty clicking right there.
Dude,
are you thinking anything?
Tell your friends, honestly,
tell your friends you should watch this show because we pick winners. We want winners. I was so excited. I got off work. I crushed a bag of Fritos and ordered a pizza, and haven't even smoked yet. So we're off to a rip-roaring start. I have to make a 2-hour drive back and forth tonight after the show. So we're gonna make this snappy. Do you have anything you wanted to add before we go to the news? Niblick, Conor.
No, I was just same as you. Got a lot going on in personal life. This is one of those tournaments it's super hard to pick a winner at. So we'll throw out a couple ideas, but we'll keep her short and sweet for everybody tonight. And we'll get back at it.
That's kind of where I'm at. Is I enjoy betting on golf regardless. I will have skin in the game for the Zurich Classic because I like Nollins, and it's fun. We get to see the Irish assassins go out and try to win back-to-back. Rory's going to be on his victory tour with the green jacket all year, so we might as well enjoy it. And might as well throw out a few winners this week just because if we stay hot, we're going to stay hot. It's going to happen because we don't have much skin in the game. Like, I know you're not investing heavily in this week. A lot of people.
There's a buzzsaw that can come and stop my hot streak. It's this.
Yeah, lots of people are taking this week off of betting just to save some money. But our bankrolls are flush, so let's play. Let's put some action on this. Let's go over the news around the world of golf before we get into that betting with the news. Niblick. It was a spectacular win, almost wire to wire for one Justin Thomas. Roll Tide, JT, big W. First win in 2 years and 10 months since the 2022 PGA Championship, if I'm not mistaken. He's got a nice sporty plaid Heritage jacket to go in the closet, and he looks sharp, man. The Heritage is a great tournament. I'm not a huge fan of these signature events with no cut. It doesn't give me a lot of excitement, but what a strong field it was. The only two guys that were not there were Hideki and Rory. JT going into that place with that field and winning pretty convincingly, even though he did have to hold off Andrew Novak, who's playing some great golf this year. What do you think about Justin Thomas going forward this season now that he's, again, like Rory, off the schneid?
I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, he was having one of those years so far that everything was kind of clicking. He had a couple little flare-ups of some old issues with drivers and some accuracy pieces, but kind of saw the putter come together this week. I think that was kind of a bit of a missing link so far this season.
Did he go from 179th to 40th in putting? That seems good.
just stupid. And Xander was talking about it briefly. Like, he gave him a couple little tips and hints, but he said it was right there in front of him. He
It's
just had
mental
to get
stuff.
it. Yeah, it was all mental.
Xander didn't work on mechanics with JT. JT went to Xander because he wanted to be locked in mentally, and Xander told him to quit thinking about it.
Yeah, and
Words to live
honestly,
by.
when you watch JT play, I mean, a lot of the putts burn the lip. I mean, it's not like he was crazy far off. I mean, it's not like Scotty style where you watch Scotty read a putt and you're like, well, what the hell was that?
Yeah, get Ted in here again.
yeah. JT's just been close. He's been close, honestly, for a couple of years now. Like, we were waiting for him to pop off last season. It just never really happened. It was a roller coaster. This year's been super consistent. I like to see him competing, if not winning again yet this year. So,
what to make of the caddy shakeup? Joe Greiner on the bag for JT the last 2 weeks. Max Homa and Joe Greiner split, which it was amicable. Of course, Max Homa playing great golf now that he has a looper from NorCal of all places. Imagine that Max Homa gets a new looper and he's a top 5 at the Masters for a while, and he plays well the last week. Max Homa's back. JT's got Joe Greiner on the bag while his caddy recovers from a back injury. Could we see Joe Greiner stay on JT's bag in the long term with the performance that we've seen?
I think JT's been pretty adamant that Joe's not going to stay on the bag. But if you stay hot and it's the change you need, I mean, this is they're professional athletes, man. They got to do what they got to do.
He might want to tell his current caddy to take it nice and easy on the physical therapy, nice light recovery. Take your time. We want you 100%. Yeah, we don't relapse. Yeah, we don't want you to re-injure yourself in any way. And backs can be tricky. And Joe Greiner is a very capable professional caddy. And as we saw, it just clicked for JT. Another guy that clicked last week, we didn't see coming, but we probably should have at the Corrales Puntacana Championship in the Dominican Republic. South African, 25-year-old South African lefty, shout out lefties, Garrick Higgo takes down the Puntacana. Great performance. It took a broken-hearted finish for Joel Damon, one of our friends of the show, a guy that I've met in person. He and Gino were rolling hot until the 16th hole on Sunday. Bogey, 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 and he lost by 1. Alongside 2 of the guys that we were on in second place, Garrick Higgo with the great win. That's a young guy with a lot of talent. We're going to see him on tour quite a bit going forward. But what do you think of Damon not quite finishing, but also having some words of wisdom afterwards?
I think it was painful, man. Joel and Gino, of all the players, like I don't know, they're just like the most human of guys.
I've met them. They are exactly how they are in full swing. They are polite. They are super nice. They are down to earth. Gino might be the nicest guy in the whole world, and Joel might be the second most nice.
And I think they genuinely have that brotherhood thing. I mean, it's just you want to see him play well. You want to see him do it. And golly, a couple of those putts from Joel down the stretch, it's just like, oh.
The one on 17 was a robbery. He hit some kind of loose impediment on a 2-foot putt and then horseshoed the lip off of that loose impediment. It took a left turn hard, and he would have been in a playoff with Garrick Higgo. And as well as Joel Damon's playing this season, I would have favored Joel Damon in that playoff against Garrick Higgo. But Alejandro Tosti was there. You had Michael Thorbjornsen there, tied for second. These are guys that we've talked about quite a bit on the show. And even though it's an offshoot, overflow type tournament in the Dominican, we were still betting on it. And we're still going to have to pay closer attention to the young South African because he's got lots of talent.
Yeah, and we've taken we've rolled the dice on Higgo a couple of times and hasn't come to fruition for us before, really. But there's a lot to like about the guy, so I'm anxious to see what he does from here. One of the things you mentioned there is Thorbjornsen. I think I'm hopeful that maybe this is the beginning of what we expected from him for months now.
That's what we call a teaser.
So you're going to find that we have what I think Bo and I would say is a dynamite pairing in 2 of our favorite young guys for this tournament. So.
It is true. It is true. And they went to college in a very beautiful place on earth.
Where is that? Where is it located?
We'll cover it. We're talking about TPC Louisiana. After this drop, we're going to go to the caddy notes. Connor, this is a great golf course for a kind of a terrible event. If you're not a fan of team golf, which I don't think either one of us really are, we really wish that this was the match play at TPC Louisiana, because
God,
TPC Louisiana, classy golf course, Pete Dye design. We love Carnage. We love Pete Dye on this show, and this course deserves a better tour event than the Zurich Classic, right?
It does.
Yeah, let's go over it after the drop. Connor will wax poetic about a great golf course hosting a bad tournament.
It's going to be abbreviated.
All right, Connor, TPC Louisiana in where? Where is it?
Oh God, I knew you were going to ask me too.
Louisiana, is that right? Correct?
Yeah, it's in Louisiana. I can't think of the city right this
Louisiana, nearby New Orleans, Louisiana, Nolens, Louisiana.
I think the city starts with an A. I had it written down, but yeah, it's near Nolens.
It's Nolens. Yeah, it's New Orleans. It's the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. Connor, take it away.
So a couple things to call out quick about the Zurich Classic. It is a team format. I'll break it down as quick as possible for you. Thursday, they're going to play a best ball format. Friday, they're going to play alternate shot. There'll be a cut on Friday. So the top 33 pairs and ties are going to advance. There's 80 teams in the field. Saturday, you're going to see another best ball. And then Sunday, you'll see alternate shot to wrap it up. It's a little bit different than you would think with the cut happening down to 33 teams. If you're doing DFS in particular, you got to be really careful that you're picking only one player from each team, which is what it will let you do. But you can very rapidly be sunk Friday afternoon.
Or in the money.
Or in the money, yeah. So, DFS is really, really tricky this week unless you got a big bankroll and you can play a whole bunch of different lineups to try and cover some of the ifs, ands, or buts of this 33-man cut. So,
it's gross.
It's not. I wouldn't recommend.
Hey, is there a rhyme or reason to who's won here before?
So not really.
I didn't find one either. So I was wondering, like, did you find any patterns here? Because I didn't.
So I'll tell you what the patterns I did find after I talk about the course. I mean, super briefly, and it should help to explain why there aren't a whole lot of patterns here. TPC Louisiana is a par 72. It can be as short as 7,300 yards. It can be as long as about close to 7,500 yards. It really depends on how they lay it out day to day. So you get a lot of variance there in terms of whether length is going to matter even a little bit. It typically does not. The course in a lot of ways is a mishmash of pretty much any Pete Dye or TPC course you can think of. It's almost like the Frankenstein, in my opinion, of TPC courses. There's a ton of bunkering throughout this place.
100 bunkers.
And you get the typical odd sight lines and gimmicky forced layups that you see with Dye courses, maybe even a little more so on this course. It's a lot. It's really more of a, I don't know how to put it, but it is a little more gimmicky than what you're used to. Fairways are super huge. There's next to no rough. Greens are typically very soft and receptive. Also fairly easy to navigate putting wise. There are quite a few short par fours on this course, which I think is kind of cool. It sets up for some fireworks on approach. There's also one for sure, if not two drivable par fours on this course. Again, depending on where they've got the tee boxes on a given day. But yeah, it should be honestly a bit of a score fest here. Last year, Rory and Shane shot 25 under to take it down. And at least 3 out of the 4 days, we're looking at pretty favorable scoring conditions here. The weather and the thunderstorms that like kind of come around Louisiana this time of year can get in the way. But doesn't look like that's going to be the thing this year. So to answer Bo's question, why is it tough to pinpoint an archetype for this course? It's because it's pretty much a Frankenstein course. So you kind of just need
mixed teams every year. Like there's very few teams that have been together for more than 2 years at this tournament.
And we've played the narrative before of like the complementary skill set that didn't necessarily pay off. We played the idea of Xander and Cantlay, just knowing each other and having similar games.
Which worked in 2022 before we did we didn't do a show on this course for that tournament, but
we've tried some different things here. I think my theory this year is play guys with hot hands. It's in a lot of ways a little bit of a hit and giggle. I mean, you can see it as they're out on the course. Even Rory and Shane were kind of BSing their way around the course last year. So
doing karaoke after.
It is a fun tournament to watch, and that's why we put a little money on it just to make it even that much more fun. So,
all right, well, let's bet on some golf, twirl some clubs right after this. All right, to nobody's surprise, the favorites going out are the defending champions, the Irish Assassins, Shane Lowry, and one Rory McIlroy. They're going at plus 360 on most books. It's terrible odds. Conor, are you betting on those two since you love them so much, or is that just you hope they win and you root for them to win, but then you hope they don't? Somebody else wins that you bet on?
No, I got a really condensed betting card this week, and I'm going to put a fair chunk of money on Shane and Rory. Not only is Rory obviously having an amazing season, which, as we talked about a little bit last week, I expect that to keep rolling big time. I think he's got a real shot at the Grand Slam this season. So the plus 360 in this field, I actually think is a pretty good value.
Especially when both of the most talented golfers in this entire field are on the same team, and they happen to be childhood best friends.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident they're going to win again. They're both just having an amazing season, so they're on my card. I got a sizable investment going on them, so consequently, I'm a little more spread out after that.
Yeah. You have anybody else in 30 or shorter range?
I do have some interest in Novak and Ben Griffin.
That's a newsworthy couple that's playing pretty well.
Yeah, I was just about to say Novak actually is playing really, really good golf. He plays quick. Ben Griffin is really, really steady. He can get a little bit hot from time to time. I think that they have a good complementary skill set. I don't know that it necessarily matters a ton, but they both have a pretty stout short game, a wedge game, putting. They're both pretty decent. So I think 22-1 on them is not horrible. So that's maybe another group right in there that I've got some interest in. The Højgaard brothers, don't mind taking a stab at them, but then for me, it's probably getting down to, oh gosh, where did they go to?
You got my guys here in the banner. Yeah.
So that I'm looking for them, but
they're 30-1. The dynamic red hot duo of Nico Echeverria and Max Grazerman. That's a very intriguing matchup, especially with how both of them are playing this season. 30-1 odds is crazy.
They're up to 40 on DK.
Oh, smash it.
That's why I couldn't find them. They've slipped all the way down to Thorne Bjornsson and Billups, which we'll talk about in a second. But
yeah, so Grazerman and Echeverria, two of the hottest golfers on the planet right now. If you didn't notice, Nico Echeverria also runner-up at Dominican Republic last week. This is a very talented duo that's playing amazing golf. So, and they also have complementing styles, which I like in a narrative type of way, because I don't know if it's actually going to help here. Moving on with the aforementioned Stanford duo, young Stanford talented duo of the future of golf, Michael Thorbjornsen and Carl Billups, plus 4,000. Any reason not to bet this duo? Because they have all the fireworks to go super duper mega low here at TPC Louisiana. Either that or they're gonna miss the cut and party in New Orleans the rest of the weekend.
No, they're getting a sizable chunk of money from me.
Stanford duo.
And it's like we've talked about with both guys, just to like, not that we have to sell them. If you watch this show, you've definitely heard us talk about both of them, but they're both players that we expect to see linger around the leaderboards for years to come. Phillips already got a win down this year. Thorn Bjornsson is actually finally starting to show some of the talent we know he's got in there. And I think you put two guys together that have a familiarity with each other, who've played on a collegiate level together. I genuinely think that this is going to be second nature to these guys. They know each other inside and out. I think it's going to be a really, really great pairing. And I don't know that they have the consistency to beat Lowry and McIlroy, but I definitely think that they can come out here and compete and be damn close, if not take it down. So,
well, I mean, remember Martin Trainer and Chad Ramey took the Rory and Shane to a playoff last year, so it could happen very easily because there's no business in the world for Trainer and Ramey to be competing anywhere.
I think that's about the time Rory and Shane were like, maybe we ought to stop screwing around.
Right. Yeah, winning the playoff. Also at plus 4,000, I have the very juxtaposed duo of Alejandro Tosti and Joe Highsmith, the two guys also playing great golf, and the most polar opposite stylistic matchup that you could find. Tosti's the bomb and gouge. Highsmith is the great putter. This is a pair that could make some waves because of, especially in best ball, where Tosti can attack and Highsmith can just scramble. And then an alternate shot, they might be a little entertaining because Tosti, you never know where that guy's going to hit the ball. I like those guys at plus 4,000. And then I have one long shot. Do you have anybody else in that range?
I just lost my tab. Hang on one second. I do have a couple more. And I know we said we keep it quick. In the 40-1 range, McGreevy and Sam Stevens at 45-1. Another group or another couple guys that we've had some success betting. And I think what I really like about them is literally, as far as modeling is concerned, they are almost polar opposites on each of the statistics we looked at this week. So again, when you talk about the complementary of the balance to a team, two guys that have the ability to play really good golf, and they are perfect balance to each other in terms of skill set. So that 45-1 number is pretty good. And then I like Bez and Van Rooyen. Again, sure. Bez is liable to get hot anytime. Van Rooyen, great approach game. So they're worth taking a look at. They are, well, where are they at now? God, the numbers are moving a ton. They're all the way down to 60-1. So
yeah, so this is just mainly the books responding to money going in because nobody knows shit about fuck this week. If you hear somebody convinced that somebody's going to win this week, they're probably wrong, and they don't know what they're talking about.
I won't steal your thunder on your deeper shot because you and I wholeheartedly agree on them, and I that's going to get a fairly good investment from me too. So I'll give you two more quick. Ryan Gerard with Danny Walker. Yep. They're going to be on the card again.
Great young pair. I had them starred for DFS for sure.
And then I'm really interested in Jake Knapp and Frankie Sabin here, and not just because big fan of both of them, but because again, when I'm looking at complementary skill sets, I think these two have the ability to balance each other really nicely.
It's true.
Frankie Sabin is a pretty aggressive player, but when he's firing,
he's an amazing putter,
and he can make a ton of birdies. And so where I'm looking for Knapp to kind of balance him this week is just that bogey avoidance piece. Knapp can dial it back, play a little bit safer. Frankie can go for it when they have the opportunities. I think they're going to be a good scoring pair. So, and you guys know I've been kind of on Frankie for a while now, so hopefully he pops for us.
Yeah. And let's go Team NorCal at 100-1. I know you agree with me. Isaiah Salinda and Kevin Velo, both Bay Area natives. Shout out NorCal. Talk about these two guys, both showing up in their rookie years on the PGA Tour. And it's like they own the place already. Salinda has already pushed some leaderboards in some very prestigious events. And Velo, if you pay close attention, Velo has been making some cuts where he probably shouldn't have made cuts so far this year. But both these guys are way under the radar if you're not paying attention. And it just so happens they're both from my neck of the woods. So I will be betting 100-1 and all the way up the ladder for Celinda and Velo because they have so much talent. And they don't know what they don't know. The young guys out here in a team event, they're going to be goofing off and having fun. And sometimes that means you got no pressure on you, no expectations. And if they can make the weekend here, we're talking a lot of fireworks.
Yeah, and I think they're 100-1 for a reason. I mean, this is
of course 100-1 in a team event is crazy, but yeah, the polar opposites can be true.
100%. And Celinda, I mean, honestly, when we saw him really popping off at in Mexico, and when we saw him again at Houston, really flexing on the field, you look at how hot this guy can get. I mean, down in Mexico, 8 strokes tee to green, 5.1 strokes putting gained that week. Houston, he had a week where he went 4.3 on approach, and gained almost 2 strokes putting. So he doesn't
his game is just solid.
Yes, but when he's going, he is gaining strokes like a madman. So yeah, I really like this pair too. And at triple digit odds, it's one of those I've done way dumber shit with $5. If these guys get hot, they can definitely score in bunches.
Gives me something to root for.
Damn right.
You got anybody else? Or are we going straight to the hat?
I don't have anybody else, and the hat has an interesting week here because I'm gonna have to pull the number and then find the pair.
Yeah.
So
pull the number, and I will. We'll try to figure out who their partner is. Just give me a low number.
25th in the model.
25th. Ooh, that is a good pair. Ricky Castillo is my number 25.
Kevin Yu is my 25. I can't remember who Kevin Yu is with.
Castillo is with another young guy. Let's see here. See, we're not ready.
Yeah, I told you this was going to be tricky.
All right, I'm pulling it up right now. Kevin,
everybody bear with us. We'll give you answers. Kevin Yu.
Celinda Velo. Where's my other guy here?
Well, this ain't great.
No, it's great television.
This is great TV. Kevin Yu and Johnny Vegas. I all of a sudden don't.
Hey, that's powerful. That's powerful. And I'm still trying to find Ricky Castillo because we just talked about him yesterday on the Betting Pros podcast. Oh my goodness, they're 80-1. They were at 80-1. Now they're gone.
We're gonna have to get Brad Palmer a Harry Hall bet one of these weeks.
Yeah, I can't find him anymore.
He's gone, man. He's gone. He ain't playing. You're toast.
Anyway, Ricky Castillo is with a good partner this week. I just can't find him.
I'm about to find him for you. I got him. Oh, he's with Bill Mao.
Oh yeah, see, William Mao and Ricky Castillo.
That's a good pair.
That's a very similar to the Celinda Velo pair. So let's roll with the hat.
Let's go hat. Let's go hat.
Well, next week we got another kind of fun tournament, right?
Yeah, I think we got 2 weeks of not terribly exciting tournaments. We've got the Byron Nelson, and then we got the Truist Championship. I don't remember that one.
Oh, it's just a renamed one.
Then we got Myrtle Beach, and then finally we're back to a major with the PGA Championship. So we got a little stretch here where we'll have to find some values.
CJ Cup, Byron Nelson. What is that? TPC Craig Ranch. Woof.
Yeah. I have a golf shirt from there.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, join us next week for that golf shirt. This has been the 19th hole. Join us next week. Peace out.